Hey, everybody. How's everyone doing tonight? All right, I'm going to give everyone a second to jump on here. If you're watching, let me know where you are watching from this evening. I see Ohio and Maryland, Louisiana, Australia. Good morning, Odette. And Melbourne, Helen from Melbourne in Australia. We're from all over Alberta, Canada. I love seeing all these different places. We have Laura from New Zealand here, North Carolina, Michigan. I think we're covering the bases, you guys. So welcome to everyone. So I'm going to kind of go over what you can expect here tonight. If you can hear me and you can't see me, you might need to get out and come back in if the stream is not refreshing for you. But it looks like we are clear and good according to others here. So I'm going to see if I can get this to pull up over on Facebook too. Let's see if I can see your comments here. Okay, looks like we are good to go. So what we are going to do tonight, this is going to be a behind the scenes of what you can expect in Tribe, because obviously doors are open. That is why we are doing this huge painting workshop. Obviously, not only for you to get a chance to paint with me and make these two gorgeous paintings, but for you to get a feel of what it is like to paint with me, what it is like to have me as your instructor and to paint in a community. So I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes tonight of everything that you get inside of Tribe. I'm really excited to share that with you. And then when I am done going through those slides and kind of giving you behind the scenes of that, then we will open it up to questions. So hang tight to your questions for right now. Megan is here with me. She's my community manager, not here with me, but here virtually with me. She is going to be trying to catch any questions that may come through while I'm talking and keep those for me at the end. So you can ask me questions about Tribe, about the social easel, about our paint session last night. And then we are going to do something fun while I'm taking those questions. We're actually going to be doing a little bit of painting fun while I'm doing that. So a lot of times when I do Q&As, I don't like just staring at my face talking to you guys. I like to be able to paint while I'm talking to you. And so what I thought would be fun tonight is we are going to make a new piece of art. It's going to be super simple. This was kind of like an idea I came up with today, but I am going to make a little vase of flowers. And what we are going to do is I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to start writing the names of all of our new Tribe sisters that have joined us this August. So it's going to be super fun, something fun for us to do while I'm taking your questions at the end and give you guys a chance to see your name. So let me know in the comments if you are currently a Tribe sister, if maybe you just joined us last night or over the last couple of days. We would love to welcome you. And then we are going to jump in and get started. Victoria said, will this be on replay? Yes. So Victoria, all of the sessions that we do during this 10-day painting workshop, everything is available on replay, and you go to the hub page that we have created for you, and that shows you all the videos that we have done up to that point. So you can review all of the videos there, the painting ones, my welcome video, all of the mindset. So all of that is there for you. Awesome. Hey, Sandra said she just joined last night. Welcome, welcome. Michelle just joined. These comments are coming in so fast that I might be clicking on them and then it's going on to the next one. Marcy is a current tribe sister. Lori joined us a few weeks ago. We've got Laura and Dawn and Pauline. So we've got lots of you guys here. These ladies are going to be great encouragement for you, and we'll probably be able to answer a lot of your questions as well. So hey, Kelly says she's been a tribe sister for about 5 years now. Okay. Hey, Deborah, just joined today. Welcome. Christina's been a member for 4 years. Tamara just joined. Hello, hello, all of you. It's so exciting to see you guys here. Camille is here. She's been a tribe sister for 3 years. Okay, so let me pull this up really quick and then we will get going. So this has actually been really fun for me to kind of prep for today, because I've been able to go back and look at several different tribe sisters' stories and hear their wins, and I can't wait to share those with you guys. So I'm going to get logged in here because I want to, not only am I going to, I put some slides together to share with you guys, but I'm actually going to take you behind the scenes so you can see what it likes, if I can talk, so you can see what it looks like when you become a tribe sister, what you have access to, what your library looks like, what the vault is. You may have heard me mention the vault in passing, and it's one of the biggest perks of being a tribe sister is that you get instant access to our tribe sister vault, and this has over 7 years worth of content in it, over 200 plus tutorials, but so much more than that. So we're going to dive deep into everything that's inside, and then we're also going to talk about what you can expect every month as a tribe sister. Hey, Miss Sherry, miss you too. Hope you are doing well. Okay, can I get my preview up here? Okay, it's always fun with multiple things that I'm trying to show you guys. I got to make sure I have all my tabs right here. Sue said the vault is like Christmas every day. I agree. There's always something fun for you to go do in there. All right, let's see if I can get this up for you. And so again, as I am sharing this, I would love for you guys to maybe, if you have a notepad or something with you, if I am saying something and you have a question for me, just jot it down and then come back and ask at the end. So this will keep tonight more streamlined, where I can really walk through all of the perks with you guys and show you everything behind the scenes. And then when I get done with this, then we will open it up to a live Q&A so that I can answer any of your questions for you. Let me move this just a little bit. So I am off to the side, not covering anything up. So can everyone see okay? You can also make your screen full screen if you need to, if you can't see the slides, but I'm going to be reading what's on them for you as well. And I'm going to just kind of be bouncing back and forth. Let me pull this separate actually, so I can keep up with your comments while I'm looking at the slide. That might mess that up though. We'll see if I can figure this out. Okay, so what we are going to talk about is everything that you get inside of Tribe. So again, we're doing a behind the scenes live Q&A tonight. For those of you who are just jumping on, I am going to be doing a little painting at the end of this. And I'm just going to make some fun Christie style flowers, and we're going to be adding the names of all our new members onto that painting. And then this is going to be a painting that I keep here in the studio. So I'm excited about that. It's going to be kind of like a nice little memento to have from this paint week as well. And I apologize, my tabs are just going all over the place. Trying to make this as big as possible for you guys. Okay, so what do you get when you become a Tribe sister? When you join Tribe, we have a couple different areas. You have what your monthly deliverables are. So every month you are going to get 2 live studio sessions with me. These are my newest paintings. So again, everything new that I come up with, that I create, that I'm working on here in the studio, I create those for my Tribe. That is where I teach my newest paintings. So every month you get 2 new paintings with me. I also do a monthly devotional with you, and this is a faith-based devotional. I'm usually reading from one of the several that I have and just kind of sharing some encouragement and some motivation with you. We talk about mindset, all things to help lift you up and encourage you and just kind of help you in your painting journey. And the devotional is something that came kind of along the way. That wasn't something that was with Tribe in the beginning, but then I did a couple, and so many women found so much encouragement from it. We've made it one of our staples. And so I do that with you every single month. We also have these Zoom Tribe Sister parties. And so what this means is this is a chance, and I'm going to show you kind of a couple screens of this here shortly, but this is your chance to paint if you want to. We have some Tribe Sisters that are painting during this, some that are just there to hang out and talk, have coffee with your Tribe Sisters. Megan, our community manager, leads those. And it's just a great time for you to connect and to get to know some of the other women in the group. And then, of course, we have our community support. So Tribe has its own Facebook community. This is a private community where only Tribe Sisters can go. And this is where we post our pictures. This is where we share inspiration, and everything happens inside of this group. So I'm going to kind of give you a little sneak peek of those few things. And sorry, I'm just checking on something over here to make sure it's not glitching. I'm seeing a little glitch on my end, but I think it's something with my computer. In addition to the monthly content, this is all new content you get every single month. You also get immediate access to our vault. And so I've been talking a lot about the vault. You're going to get to see inside of it tonight, but this is 200 plus step-by-step painting tutorials that I have taught over the last 7 years. In addition to that, you are going to get resources, studio sessions, critiques, technique lessons, and things like our Jumpstart into Acrylics. This was a workshop that I did a year or so ago that we don't have up on the website anymore, but Tribe Sisters get it. This is one of those things that is a great place for you to start when you jump in as a Tribe Sister. So just to help you with your painting skills and your techniques. We have seasonal and holiday paintings that you can enjoy all year. And we like to call the vault, this is like our Netflix style library. You can watch anytime at your own pace. And I'm going to kind of show you how that works. So some of the extra perks that are not in your monthly and not in the vault are just some of the fun things that we do inside a Tribe. Because for those of you that may be new to me and you don't know me very well, I am super social, hence the name, The Social Easel. I don't think we were meant to create alone, right? I think think everything is better with a group of people. I think I want to make it as fun of an experience for you as possible. And so I'm always trying to surprise and delight you guys with new stuff inside a tribe. So in addition to just painting, we do a lot more. One of those things is our card swaps. We just got done doing one, and I'm going to be sharing some pictures with you guys. But this is where Tribe Sisters create and exchange hand-painted cards with other Tribe Sisters. So like, who doesn't love some good old snail mail? Like actually opening your mailbox and finding something that makes you smile, that's a gift from somebody else. And this is the thing I love about art. I love about painting is that it's the ripple effect, right? So by me saying yes to this journey years ago and deciding to pursue this passion of mine to keep painting, even when that didn't seem like a possibility for me, and started doing paint nights, and then it turned into online. And never in a million years did I think I would be here teaching thousands of you this week how to paint. But this is what I love about it, is all the fun that we get to have together. So over time, I've continued to just create new and fun things that we get to do together as a group. And that's kind of what these extra perks are. So you also get creative rights. So not only are you learning to paint, not only are you, working on your skills and gaining all these friendships in the sisterhood, but you also have the rights to use any of your finished tribe paintings to sell or to teach at local paint parties. So you have permission to use my designs. You don't have to come up with something all on your own. And then we do lots of fun contests inside a tribe. So we do these kind of seasonally. I think we've done 2 this year. We did a spring and summer one. So I'm sure we will do something fun this fall as well. These are fun contests that we do. Each one is themed differently, but they're meant to help you grow. They're meant to push you outside of your comfort zone. And then the perk of them is that you may get some Happy Mail packages from me when you complete your challenge. So we are going to share some of that with you. I'm going to share some of these pictures of our Tribe Sisters so you can see what they're doing. So let's talk about our monthly deliverables again. This is kind of what you can expect when you jump inside a tribe. Every month, we're going to give you one of these calendars. We keep all of this in the featured section at the top of our Facebook group. So you can see this is what the August calendar looked like. And it lays out all the things that are happening when I'm doing my devotional, when I'm teaching. And then, of course, it has like our fall workshop down here that you see as well. These are some of the newest paintings. So the ones with the pink background here, these are what I taught in August. The 2 down here, these are what's coming in September. And then one of the other perks of signing up to be a Tribe Sister during this event is that you are not going to lose access to these paintings that we're doing during the workshop. So it's what, I call the tribe my VIP community because it truly is. And I always try to spoil them. And this is like 2 bonus paintings that you're going to get to keep. These are going to be added in to your member library, and you will have access to these as long as you are a Tribe Sister. So technically you're getting 4 paintings in the month of September because you can go back to these as many times as you would like. So we talked about the Zoom parties as one of the perks each month. This is some of our fun pictures from our Zoom parties. You can see Megan on here, some of our Tribe Sisters, Pauline and Lori. And you can see everyone's just in their home. This is super casual, super laid back. And it's just a chance for you to jump in and put a face with the names that you see in the Facebook group a lot. So it's a really fun opportunity if you want to get to know some other ladies in the group. And then we obviously have our community support and encouragement. This is in our Facebook community and beyond that. So one of the important things about that we're going to talk about with Tribe is that you are not doing this alone, right? This isn't just a one-off, like, here's your lesson, go view it in the library, and then you're doing it all alone. This is all about you doing this together with other members. So what kind of support and encouragement do you get? One, I'm going to introduce Megan. You can see her picture here at the top. Like I said, she's our community manager inside of Tribe. She's also helping out with me tonight to field your questions and make sure I'm answering those. And then when you email in, I want you to put a face to the name of the ladies that you're talking to who are helping you. When you email in customer service, we have Jennifer and Robin, another Tribe sister who now works with me. And those are the ladies who are there helping you, answering your questions when you need them answered. And you can see Megan's already created for all of the new Tribe sisters that we're welcoming in. This is a screenshot from our Facebook group where she's put all the important information right at the top. It's our welcome, it's our important links, all that stuff that you need to get you off on the right foot. And then over to the right, you're going to see our Tribe sisters. So these are what we call our Tribe Big Sisters. We have two lead mentors in the group, Lori and Brenda, who I have been fortunate enough to get to meet both of them in person as well. And I like to kind of describe the mentors as your cheerleaders. So these are the women who are not only going to cheer you along in the group. Brenda's here in the comments, so you guys can say hi to Brenda. I think Lori's here as well. But they're also there to help guide you and help answer your questions if you're feeling stuck. So again, you're never going through this alone. And then our big sister, April, is also there, and she is just such a ray of sunshine in the group, and she's always there with some positive words, encouragement to help you guys on your journey. And then this is just a few stories that I want to be able to share with you guys. Oh, good. It is letting me zoom in a little bit. I was worried it wasn't going to do that. So this is kind of an example of what you can expect when you're in the Tribe Facebook group. I love this one. I'm going to zoom in over here. So this is Teresa. She is a new Tribe sister, and she said, "This is my second painting. I had so much fun, and that's what it's all about." So this is her post. That was her picture. And then you can see immediately underneath this, these are all the comments. People cheering her on. Tammy's telling her great job. Lori telling her she has a great attitude. It's just, like I said, it's like that burst of positivity that we all need, right? And then we have Shanna over here at the top. This is her with some of her finished paintings that she did in our last challenge. And she said, "I love the community, seeing what others do and offering encouragement. I love that it's reciprocated here. No negativity around or allowed. And I love that. It's all positive, and I feel like I'm making friends. My biggest takeaway is to have fun, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I've learned so many new techniques, and I find so much joy and peace in painting." And that's really what it's all about. And I thought, what better way to show you guys than to share some of the stories of our fellow Tribe sisters. Kathy said, "I love the support and encouragement. Strive not for perfection, but to trust you will continue to grow. We all need that positivity." Marcy, who has been a Tribe sister for several years here. You're reading her comment here. She said, "Being a Tribe sister has supported her creative growth and journey by giving her a group and a platform she didn't even know she needed. She had exceptions of painting fun paintings, learning expectations of painting fun paintings, learning acrylics. But what she found was an entire community of sisters that brought joy and support to her journey. She said, I've grown so much as an artist, and I have Christy and Tribe to thank for that." Tracy said, "The simple pleasures in life. If you are looking for a relaxing, fun, and rewarding hobby, and even making money at that hobby, it's a win-win. Being a part of Tribe is awesome. I get ideas, tips, and encouragement from all the sisters." Then we just mentioned April. She's one of our big sisters here. She said, "The community here is amazing. There are so many ladies lifting you up and cheering you on those difficult days when you're down or paint days don't go as expected. Someone will comment on your post and change your whole thought process for a positive outcome. The takeaway from being in Tribe, if you want to learn and progress as an artist, because that is who you are if you're here. I like her little reminder there. This is the place to be. So sign up, stay a while, and find your style. You won't regret it. I love that. Let me scoot this over just a little bit here. And then we have, if I can get back over here, Miss Patricia. Stumbling on my words here. This is Patricia over here in the right corner with her beautiful hydrangeas. She said, if my memory serves me right, I believe I'm on my 3rd year as a Tribe sister. And Christy and her staff are the most loving and inspirational group. When I am down and out, they lift me up. I don't get to take part in all of it or have as much time to paint as I have as much time to paint, but I can enjoy looking at others' art and past tutorials, and it gives me a little push to do something, even if it's 30 minutes or even jumping in to join a live. It's not just about the art, it's about the love and support. You won't be sorry that you joined. So I love that. I love letting you guys hear from these other sisters, so you can kind of get a feel from them what it's like from their experience. So let's talk a little bit about the vault. I'm going to kind of break down on this slide what all is included in the vault, and then I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an actual sneak preview of the website. So the vault that we talk about is only for Tribe sisters. There's no way for you to purchase this separately. There's no other access to it unless you are a Tribe sister. So as I mentioned, there are over 200 plus painting lessons, but there's a whole lot more than that. There are 10 plus categories. So animals, coastal, landscape, floral, seasonal, and a whole lot more. And I teach in multiple styles. And this is important, and I wanted to bring it up because just as you guys are painting with me over these 2 weeks, we're doing a landscape the first week, we're doing florals the second week. I'm doing completely different techniques in both of those paintings. So that is really what you can expect in Tribe. Not every painting is going to be the same. It's not going to be the same style. It's not going to be like, okay, I teach you this one way, and now for the next 5 years, I'm only going to teach you that one style of painting. Now, are there artists out there who do that? Yes, and that is absolutely fine. I love to constantly grow myself. I don't feel like we ever quit learning as artists or honestly just as humans. And I'm always hungry to learn more. And I always push myself out of my comfort zone artistically. And then I bring that into Tribe and I share that with you. So you are going to learn multiple styles. And the reason I do that is because I want you to find your artistic voice. I want you to find what makes you happy, what makes you passionate, what brings you joy when you're painting. Because there are so many different things we can paint. And maybe not every painting brings you the same amount of joy as others, right? But you're really not going to know that until you experiment and you allow yourself to just try things without worrying about the end, right? We talked about that, not worrying about fear and perfection, but just jumping in and trying new things. So I teach with craft acrylics. That's what we're using for this workshop. I teach with heavy bodied acrylics. I teach with watercolor and pen and ink sometimes. We do mixed media where I even pull in like scrapbook paper pieces, stencils, pens, markers, all that kind of stuff into my artwork. I teach you how to use a palette knife. And then most recently, we have really tapped in to impasto style painting. That's that very heavy textured floral painting that I showed you guys yesterday. And that basically impasto, for those of you that are new to that, that basically just means really thick bodied paint. Okay. So it literally is like 3D. It stands off the canvas. So those are the different styles you can expect. And then I want to talk about some of the other things that you get in addition to the tutorials. So over here on the right, this inside the vault, you're going to have resources. So if you're not sure where to go, I would always say start in the vault. And I'm going to show you why, because at the top we have a welcome guide. We have a getting started here. That's where you're going to find your painting planner. so you can start planning in your time to be creative. You're going to have a getting started checklist. We're going to have like all our helpful links to my Amazon store, links to my Deco Art set, anything that we want that for you to have easy access to, we put all in one spot. And then we have even added special beginner lessons under that tab of resources, under that getting started section. Then one of the other things that we have inside the vault is critiques. These are previous critiques that I've done, and we do these not every single month, probably like every 3 months. I give you an opportunity to, if you are working on a painting and you're struggling, or maybe you're not sure if you're done, you're wondering if you could do something different, or maybe you are just stuck on a certain technique, right? Like you're getting it, you're working on it, but you just feel like you need a little bit more. That's your opportunity. You can submit that to me, and I personally critique your art and give you individual advice on ways that you can make your art better. Okay. And then this is also going to be where all of our replays of our devotionals are. So if you feel like you need a pick-me-up, if you need to be uplifted and encouraged, you can go to the devotional section of our vault and you can listen to however many you want to and just pick a random one. I'll tell you, like during the devotionals, this is just me sharing from the heart. It's me sharing scripture with you guys. And sometimes I may be crying. Sometimes I may be going through something hard. Some days I may be celebrating and sharing the joy with you and wanting you guys to, share that too and focus on that in your life. So these are all different. And it is really just me kind of sharing with you from the heart each month. And then last but not least are our studio sessions. These are like individual technique sessions. So not necessarily step-by-step painting classes, but technique sessions, editing tips, design, color theory, organization, all that kind of stuff. And you have access to all of this inside the vault. So let me know in the comments really quick if you want to actually see the vault. I'll give you a quick little preview, but I kind of wanted to outline everything for you first. And then I'll show you what you can expect. Okay, let me jump over here. Should let me. Perfect. Seamless. I love it when technology is my friend and actually works for me and does what I want it to do. All right. So let's check out what that vault is. And again, there's no live sessions in the vault. So I want you to think about this truly as like your membership hub. Okay. This is where you're going to find all your resources, everything that I just discussed. So when you log in to your library, you will click on your Tribe Sister Vault, and that will take you right here. Obviously, it says welcome to the vault. Up at the top, there's a little welcome message from me. You can download our welcome guide that's going to give you everything you need to know about everything that you get inside of Tribe. Like I said, helpful links to our paint set, to the Amazon store. And then right as we go into it, you're going to start seeing everything organized beautifully. This is an update that we did over this last year, and I absolutely love it. We jokingly call it like Netflix for painting, right? But that's really what it is. We designed the vault in such a way that you can come in here and scroll through and browse and pick what you want to paint. Obviously, I'm on animals right now. So there's so many things for you to choose from, all the different categories I talked about. But we have this getting started section right here. And when you click in each one of these, if it will acknowledge my click. This is going to be a quick video that, again, you're watching me do it right now, but in case you forget, how to navigate around the vault, how to find what you need. Our most recent welcome ceremony, if you want to rewatch that, how to make a quick link on your phone for the vault, and your getting started checklist. I really encourage all of you who come into Tribe this week to really start here, because we created this guide and this path for you to follow so that you don't come in and you don't feel overwhelmed. There's a lot of things to see, but if you just kind of follow our checklist and kind of go in that order, you're going to feel much more grounded and feel like you're getting the most out of your membership. Over here, this is our Getting Organized Tribe Sister Painting Planner. And I created this in the last year because we all talk about time, right? Like, how many of you, you may be watching this right now and you're here for the paint week, right? But you worry about whether you're going to have enough time to keep up with it. And I want to talk about that because, number one, there is no such thing as keeping up, okay? Everyone is working at their own pace. All right. So there is no, just because I am teaching something live in August or September, doesn't mean that has to be what you're painting. You may be working on a project from the vault. So everyone's working at their own pace. Everyone's working on their own thing. And that's why I created the painting planner. And I'm going to see if I can pull this up just to kind of show you really quick. So you can make multiple copies of these, but I have like a month layout where obviously you can put down the times that I'm teaching live. But again, you don't have to join me live. Everything inside of Tribe, after it's done live, will move into your vault. So you have replays of everything. Nothing is like taken away from you if you missed that live, okay? So what I encourage you to do is start planning your time and being intentional about your time. When you signed up for this free workshop, it was because you wanted to paint, right? Maybe it was specifically these paintings. Maybe you miss being creative. Maybe you never have been, and you hope you can be. For whatever reason, you showed up here this week. That's step one, right? But now we need to make sure that, number one, you're having fun, that you're finding joy, but that you find a way to carve that time out for yourself, because we are all busy. For those of you that don't know me, obviously I run this business and I am a wife and a mom to 3 girls, 2 who are in college, 1 in high school, dance team, volleyball, sororities, all the things, travel. We're constantly busy. But one thing that I still carve time out for is my creative time. And I don't mean just for what I create for Tribe, but I mean for me. Painting is my therapy. And I do see a therapist as well, but painting is a way that I calm myself down. And when you're overwhelmed and when you're stressed and you need that break away, it's important for us to not push that off, not push ourselves off, but actually carve that time out. Because here's the thing, when we do that, we're not only better for us, but we're better for our family and friends that are around us, right? So that's why I created this, for you to start actually planning your time, making a date for yourself, just like you would follow up with any appointments or other dates that you have on your calendar. Mark yourself in your own calendar. And then you can start, like when you join and you're browsing through the vault that we will go back to, you can start jotting down some paintings that you want to do. You can start focusing and saying, what is my focus this month? What do I really need to work on? I want to work on my brush strokes. I want to learn how to mix beautiful colors, whatever that may be. So that's page 1. And then we have it broken down into a weekly planner. And again, these are all just things that I've provided to help you be better organized. The more organized we are, which I know is hard, especially if you're someone like me who's overly creative. Our brains kind of fight organization sometimes, but it is so helpful to write it down and then hold yourself accountable to it. And then I've even included like note sections where you can write like supplies that you need for that particular project. You can track your time over here because you may end up selling your work. You may not think that right now, but so many other tribe sisters were right where you were. And they were like, oh, I'm just going to dabble in this. I'm doing this just for me. And then the next thing you know, someone's asking them to purchase a piece of art. And now they're trying to figure out how much to charge for it, right? So one of the things that you need to know is how much time it took you. So I provided that time log there. And again, it's just you keeping, keeping tabs on all that stuff. And then this is a section for you to write notes. Maybe something that I said in that lesson that really struck you, that you're like, oh, I need to write that down and remember that next time. So just a place for you to take notes, focus on what you learned. We focus a lot on progress over perfection inside a tribe, right? So I'm always more concerned about your progress and your growth than I am a finished painting. And so I want you to start training yourself to be that same way. I want you to, instead of being like, oh, I could have done it better, because, right, how many of you tend to be harder on yourselves than anyone would be to you? We are our own worst critics, like all the time. There have even been times when I look at a finished painting and I've almost not shared it with Tribe because I just was like, I don't know. I don't even know if it's that good, because I'll get all in my head about it, right? And then I'll share it, and sure enough, people are like, oh my gosh, I love it. I can't wait. And like all those thoughts I had in my head kind of go away, right? We're always overly critical. So one of the things that I want you to focus on with this sheet is I want you to recognize the things that you learned in that painting. Maybe, like, let's use what we're painting this week as an example. You learned how to not overblend your color. You learned what colors could go next to each other. You learned how to make a beautiful blue sky in all different variations of blue. You learned how to lay brush strokes down without overblending. Those are things that you learned. You learned how much paint to have in your brush so that you get the brush stroke the way that you want it, right? So, and then you can celebrate your biggest wins. Like, what are you proud of? Maybe you're proud of just the fact that you set time aside to paint and it made you happy. It made you feel better. That's a win. A win doesn't always have to be some beautiful painting or beautiful masterpiece, or that you made money off of your art. A win can be your sanity. A win can be that you took time for you, instead of putting yourself off and at the bottom of the list. But then we can also be realistic, right? And we can say, okay, what did I struggle with in that painting? And how can I get better? So what areas do I need to improve on? Jot those down. Say, okay, well, I struggled. Let's say you struggle with blending. I just can't get blending down. So write that down. I can't get color mixing down. Okay, so write that down. Then what's my next step? Now that you know what areas you need to improve, that's going to help guide you to what your next step is. You're going to look for more paintings inside the vault that involve blending. You're going to look for more lessons or paintings that involve color mixing, because if we know where we struggle, then we're able to learn those skills to overcome that, right? And that's the goal. I want to give you a path. I don't want this to just be, willy-nilly everywhere, because that's where a lot of people struggle, right? You're following, these free lessons, and you're over on YouTube and you're on Pinterest, and everything is just overwhelming, and you don't have a path. You don't have a guide. That's why we create these things, to help keep you accountable, to help you see what areas you can work on. And then I like for you guys to keep these pages. They end up becoming almost like a diary for you to look at your growth over the years. You heard at the beginning in the comments, all of these women, some who have been in here for 3 to 5 years with me, and they're still continuing to grow. I mean, I've been painting. I am 46 years old. I've been painting for about 41 years, as soon as I was old enough to hold a paintbrush, right? I'm still growing. I'm still getting better. We can all improve. And so this is to help you, kind of guide you along that path, and then setting you up for next month. So this is a great thing to do at the end of a painting. It's a great thing to do month end, so that you can reset new goals for yourself the upcoming month. Okay, let's go back to the vault. Let me know what you guys think about the planner. If you think that is going to be something helpful for you, that maybe that's what you need. You need that little extra guidance. You need that pathway to kind of help you see what areas you need to work on and how you can keep growing. Pauline said, always growing and learning. Absolutely. Lori said, I have found that painting pushes away all the stress and worry. It's my happy place. Mine too. I mean, I usually turn on some music. I'm painting and I would love to keep my phone on silent. I do sometimes because it's my chance to just kind of escape the world and be in my own little creative world for a time being. Allison said, I love it. I need accountability. Donna said, it sounds like a great planner. Kathy loves the planner. And again, you use it as much as you need to. And everyone's planner is going to look different. You may only get to paint an hour a week. Maybe some weeks you get to paint 3 or 4, and then the next week you're busy and you just fit in a couple 30-minute time slots in there. It's okay, right? Like, we're all completely different, and we're all on different schedules. You do not have to do what everyone else is doing. This is your journey and your path, okay? So anyways, that's all here in the getting started section. And then especially for those of you who are brand new to painting, I would highly encourage you to jump in here this is our jump start into acrylics. This is Overcoming Fear and Brush Strokes 101, where I just break down simple brush strokes with you, color mixing and values, learning to play in your mixed media pad, practicing what we're talking about, and then a bonus painting with me. So this is a great place for you to jump in if you're just getting started. And then we also have, if I go over here, we have a section of just super easy beginner level tutorials. Now, I believe that any of you that are watching right now can paint anything inside my vault. I don't think anything is too difficult for anyone. I don't think that you had to have been painting for a long time to tackle any of these paintings. Just the way that I'm teaching you during this paint week is the same that I teach inside of Tribe. Everything is broken down into small, easy, doable steps. So even if you look at something and you're like, "Ooh, that painting intimidates me. I don't know if I can do that." Trust me, borrow my trust, okay? Trust me and trust the process, and don't think about the end. Just do each next step that I'm telling you to do, and you will get there just like you can with any of these. So I'm just going to kind of browse through here so you can kind of visually see what it looks like. But we have our different sections, as I said, like all the different animals. We have coastal. If you are new to me, I love the beach. I love the ocean. I love all things coastal. Even though I live in the middle of the United States, nowhere next to an ocean, I paint it and things from it a lot because I love it. The other thing I love is florals. And there are so many different types of florals that you can do. As I mentioned, I teach in different styles too, right? So I don't just teach one concrete way how to do a painting. There are so many different ways to create art, and I don't believe there is just one way, okay? So my goal is to help you learn to experiment and try new ways, and again, step out of your comfort zone and learn new skills. So this is like our newest one. This is like that really heavy bodied, what we would call impasto style painting. These are some of my newest florals. Dandelions, our Queen's Bouquet. This one was so popular when I came out with it a couple months ago. So you can see there's all different styles of florals that you can do, and they're all taught in different ways. So since I accidentally did that, but you can see here, this is like how they're broken down, and this will take you to the video. Any resources that you need are going to be up at the top above that video. If it has a template, that will be there. Each lesson comes with a supply and color list, so you're not having to guess. We provide all of that for you. And then along with color swatches. So if you don't have the exact brand of paint that we have, you can find something similar. We have landscapes, and all these dots means that's how far those go. So there's all kinds of different styles and techniques that I use. We do some watercolor. This one from Belize is incorporating paint pens into our work. Sometimes there's pens and ink. Sometimes there's stencil. There's all different ways you can do it. And then we have it broken down by season: spring, summer, fall. You guys, if you love fall, I love fall. If you love fall, there are so many different paintings for you to take advantage of inside of here. And they're not just pumpkins. Of course we have pumpkins, but there's so much more than that inside of here. Different scenes, different styles. So this is like the Autumn Chapel. You may have seen it hanging behind me this week while I've been teaching. So there's a ton for you to explore in there. And then of course we have winter and Christmas. We have our religious and spiritual section. So crosses, chapels, angels, something inspirational. So those are some of the different categories we have. And then I talked to you about the studio technique sessions. This is where we step away from the step-by-step tutorials. And I'm actually like, think of this as like kind of going to art school with me. Okay. So I'm kind of taking you deeper into learning some techniques. This is these first two on color theory. Me talking to you about composition and depth in your artwork, editing and designing with your art, all kinds of different things, transferring a photo to a canvas, adding lettering to your artwork, adding texture. So there's lots of different things you can study there. Our past critiques and Q&A sessions. And I really want to emphasize the importance of these because sometimes I feel like they get overlooked. And you think, well, if that was Christy's critique and she was talking about someone else's artwork, how does that really apply to me? So we made this part of our last contest, our last challenge that we did inside of Tribe, was a chance for women to, they have to do several different tasks for the challenge. And one of them was to go watch a critique and then share their takeaway. They learn so much. When you take the time to sit down and watch one of these and take notes and watch how I help other people with their art, you are learning to apply those same skills to yours. So this is so much more than just easy step-by-step paintings that you can do with me. This is not like a paint and sip class. I'm teaching you art elements, I'm teaching you techniques, and I'm teaching you ways to make your art better in addition to the tutorials. And then, as I mentioned, we do monthly devotionals. So you can see my hair and weight change over the time here. All of the different devotionals I have in here, but these are all, again, recorded for you. So when you feel like you need that little boost of encouragement, you can jump over here and listen to a devotional if you want to. We have a few guest artists in here and then just some more technique videos. Okay, so that's kind of what your Tribe Sister Vault looks like. We also have this easy drop down where you can look at things this way as well if you'd rather do that than scroll. So yeah, that's kind of what you can expect inside of the vault. And then let me go back. Let me get to the right page here. So let me know if you guys have any questions about what you just saw. And then I was going to just do a quick lookbook preview. So I know you guys saw as I was kind of scrolling some of the different things, but the lookbook is just a fun way for you to see some of the options that you are going to have when you join. So I am just going to click this here. Give it just a second to load. So this is something that Megan updates every few months. This is our most recent catalog of paintings, everything that you will have access to when you become a Tribe Sister. So we have farm animals, we have birds, we have all the things. I kind of mentioned some of these, the coastal and the floral. You're just getting to see them a little bit bigger and easier here, but you have so many styles and choices to choose from. I love doing landscapes too. We'll definitely be doing more of those coming up. Our seasonal, all the different fall paintings. These are so fun. I'm getting ready to pull all mine out and redecorate my front window display here at the studio. Our winter ones, Christmas, of course. We got lots of Santas and snowmen and nativity scenes, Christmas trees. So there you go. That is a look inside just a few of the 200 paintings that you will have access to. Just saw this. So I'm just going to pull this question up really quick. Joe said, did I understand you say if we paint anything in the vault, we can sell it or use it to hold a paint class? And the answer is yes. So you have rights to use my designs locally. So nothing I teach online is allowed, or nothing I teach is allowed to be taught online. You are allowed to teach local paint classes, and you are allowed to sell your original art that you create from my designs. And we're going to kind of go into that a little bit more too. So I mentioned to you, we're talking about the extra perks. I showed you the vault. We talked about the new monthly lessons, kind of gave you a glimpse of what a month looks like inside a tribe. And then we talked about what are these extra perks that you get for being a tribe sister. It's all the fun stuff that we do. So we just wrapped up a card swap. Like I said, you can see all these different styles. I love looking at these, all these different pictures. These are all individual art pieces that people did on postcards or small card stock, whatever it may be, and they mail them to other tribe sisters. So you'll get an opportunity to participate in things like that, build your friendships with other ladies inside the group. And it's just such a fun way for us to kind of keep sharing the love of painting with others. Let's talk about making money. Okay, so the creative rights and making some money. There's several stories that I threw up on this slide, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit and just give you a chance to kind of see some of these pictures. And I want you to remember the women that you're looking at right now in these photos, they did not come into tribe with prior experience. They did not come in knowing how to lead a paint class. They didn't come in having these painting skills. They learned all of that inside a tribe. And you can too. So this is Miss Pauline. She's here in the comments. This was our fall porch leaner from last fall, and she held a class for that. And she was sharing a little bit up here. I think this is from a while ago, but I can still remember this story when Pauline's been with me for about 5 years now. And she said, I was stunned when I sold my first painting by posting it on my personal Facebook page, and I've sold many that way. She's now been commissioned numerous times to create originals for others. She also does paint parties in her home with a small group of ladies. Let's see, she was able to gift and donate to her local art gallery for auctions. This is something I never expected or saw myself doing, but it all happened after she had the support and the encouragement that she needed inside of Tribe. And then we have Bonnie over here. She said, never in a million years would I have thought I would make money on my paintings, but I sell them in a cute shop on Main Street in Columbia, where she lives for half the year. She said, I am a maker along with 60 or more others, and she has her own brand of art now. She set up a couple tables at craft shows and also in Florida, where she is in the winter months. It keeps her busy and fills her with joy to be able to paint so much in her retired life. Let's scroll in to some of these. This is Mina. She did a paint party. This is obviously from winter, where they all painted Silent Night together. Carrie said, I did my first paint party with friends. I'm so proud of them. We learned a lot. Can't wait to do another one. Did this one in Cozumel on a trip together. Some pictures from last year of people doing one of our Santas. Kathy said, I enjoyed the spring birdhouse so much, she decided to have a paint party with it. And she may even make a porch leaner out of that one. And Tammy here holding up her landscape. She said, I've sold paintings at our local Artisans Guild, and I have also held benefit paint parties, and she has given a lot away. This is Nancy right here, and these are her tote bags that she's hand painted on. She said, I've sold a few paintings. My most recent was my dragonfly on the lily pad from last summer. She just received an email from a fun Key West vibed local winery, sent them pics of her beach themed paintings and items, and now they are requesting 10 wine totes from her. She said that ask was scary, but so worthwhile. So you just really never know what is going to come around the corner. This is from one of Nancy's paint parties. She's here in the comments today too. Nancy said a successful, again, this was last fall, but a successful weekend to kick off seasonal paint parties, 2 down and 4 to go. She made over $750 over the weekend. So just fun seeing all of these different success stories. Christina said, I've sold several products because of Tribe. The Christmas tree was extremely popular. She's been able to enter contests and donated paintings that have raised money for the Children's Miracle Network. And she's currently doing commissions on her own, which she would have never been able to start doing without her Tribe. Misty said, I've sold many paintings that I have done from the Tribe and the Vault. I've set up vendor booths, sold them, done watercolor painting kits, and also I do live paint parties. April said, and April's story is actually on our Tribe Sister page too. You can click and hear that. She said, I do sell artwork that I paint in Tribe. She just sold 2 of the Sammy the Scarecrows, which I created last year. He's my favorite. I love him. She said, the first year I was in Tribe, I sold enough to pay for my subscription for the year. So you can definitely make money with your artwork in here. And April's here in the comments too. But just hearing all of these different Tribe sisters. And I just want to remind you that that wasn't their plan, right? And sometimes I think we decide for ourselves and we kind of stop ourselves from dreaming or thinking about those possibilities. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to actually do the opposite of that. I want you to open your mind and just see what happens if you continue to work on your skills and become better at your art. What possibilities, what doors can open for you. So one of the other things we mentioned was the fun contests that we do inside a Tribe. And these are from our summer and spring ones. Look at all these paintings these women have done. So the contest, like I said, there's all kinds of different things that we do. Megan and I make them new and fresh every single time. But like this one, the summer one was like a bingo card type of thing. This is Nancy here. One of the objectives was to paint on something other than canvas. She did this beautiful lamp with a painting. She did this rolling pin. Here is Amber with some of her finished pieces. Lori just finished her summer challenge. But what I want you to notice is look at the smiles on these faces. This is what I want you to see. Do you see the joy that they're getting out of what painting is bringing them? And the only thing different between them and you is that they made the decision to do this, to do something for themselves. And I just love seeing the amount of joy and pride and confidence that they all have doing this. Ignore that. Wrong click here. This is from our spring mashup. So this one this was a smaller contest that we did. And the goal for this one was for the Tribe sisters to take 2 different paintings from the vault and combine them into their own unique painting. So here you see Kathy with her original. There's no other painting like this out there. Kathy created that all on her own, just with a little inspiration from what we were sharing in the group. So there's just so many possibilities for you. So just keep all those dreams alive. Don't tell yourself you don't have time. Don't tell yourself you can't do it, because you definitely can. So we're talking about deciding, right? What happens when you decide to do something for you? We're going to continue to hear from some of our tribe sisters. So this is Andrea. She has been a tribe member for almost a year now. She said, I love the community that exists in this group, how encouraging and supportive everyone is. I'm never hesitant to post a painting that I'm working on to ask for advice or one I've completed to get feedback because everyone is so kind. I'm so pleased to actually learn how to paint. I know it may sound silly, but I was such a newbie. I needed to know how to hold a brush, how much pressure or not pressure to use. Does anyone relate to Andrea here? Is anyone feeling maybe the same way that she was feeling when she first came in here? And she said she has learned color theory, mixing, blending, not blending. These are not paint what I paint sort of lessons. They are let's paint a picture and I will teach you 5 things you can apply toward whatever you want to paint next sort of lessons. I love that sentence because basically what she's trying to say there is when I'm teaching you guys, and I kind of talked about this yesterday, I am teaching you step by step how to do it, but I'm giving you the reasons why. I'm teaching you the techniques of why we're making the choices that we're making in art, because everything that you learn in one painting lesson is going to carry over to the next. She said everything has a takeaway. I also adore the devotionals and motivational mindset lessons. I'm growing in my art and in my confidence. My friends have commented that they can see a difference in my painting. I would encourage anyone on the fence to dive over and join Tribe. And I'm going to just zoom in. This is some of her most recent artwork. Look at these beautiful painted tables that she did. These are from her summer contest, I believe. And then I love this, Andrea. I don't even think I was able to comment on it yet. I saw it, I think yesterday or the day before. This is her newest painting that we did, that impasto style that I just taught them in August. And this is her version of that. So again, just not afraid to step out of her comfort zone and just try new things. And that's how you're going to get the most out of the membership. Okay, sorry, glitching here. I feel like that went the wrong way. Okay, this is, sorry guys, hang on just a second. This is Shanna. I had mentioned her earlier. She was on another slide. She said, I love the community and seeing what others do and offering encouragement. I love that it's reciprocated here. As we talked about, there's no negativity ever. So I say good vibes only. I don't do drama. I don't allow drama. So that is never going to be what you see inside of our Tribe Sister group. This is just going to be a positive, loving, encouraging environment for you to be a part of. And this is Linda. She said, I'm learning and it's helping my grief from losing her husband 3 years ago. I love the way that Christy teaches. My takeaway is the help I receive from painting by all my tribe sisters is so helpful. So a big thank you to them. And now she's even considering teaching. And so I think it's important, like, you know, when we're here and I'm sharing Linda's story and like talking about, we talk about like paint being therapy, and this is therapy for her, going through grief, going through hard times. This can be a real thing that helps you in your life and helps you kind of process your emotions and have that quiet time that sometimes we just shut it out, right? Sometimes it's easier for us to just say, oh, I'm just going to watch this show instead. But what if instead you poured into yourself instead of just wasting our hours throughout the day, but actually did something that you gained something from, you have something to show for it, and you feel better. You feel better when you're done. This is Crystal. She said, I've learned so much in the few months I have been a Tribe Sister. I've learned a lot about color mixing, using thicker acrylics, how to paint things without a template, and learned there is no mistake that you can make using acrylic paint, because you simply let the mistake dry and paint right over the top of it. I have also learned to trust the process and that even though a painting may not look like the one Christy is painting, it's not supposed to. So I say that all the time. I don't want yours to look exactly like mine. I want it to look like yours. It's supposed to be my painting, and that is so fun, learning to realize I don't have to be perfect because nothing is. It has awakened her love of painting, and now she paints almost every single day. I love that everyone is supportive of other paintings and the journeys. She enjoys the devotionals. So obviously you can see like just the happiness that comes when you jump in and do this. And this is Miss Nancy. You can see the picture of her. I've had the joy of getting to meet Nancy in person. She's come here for one of our Tribe Sister retreats, and she is such a joy. And I have to zoom in. When I saw this picture on Facebook the day she posted it, I was like, oh my gosh, let's just all take this in for a minute. Look at these beautiful paintings that Nancy has done. And she is also the one who we were talking about her earlier, that she last fall had made $750 in just one weekend of teaching her paint parties with some of these. So it is just so fun to see all of her work there together, and it's absolutely beautiful. Edie said, do you teach abstract landscape? Yeah. So if you jumped in late, Edie, I just did like you can watch the replay where I kind of do like a lookbook. You can also go, when you click on the link to find out more about Tribe, there's a link for you to go and you can see an example of the different landscapes, but I teach all different styles, and we're doing a very loose abstract one in September based off the one I did for my daughter's apartment. So just have to brag on Nancy. I love that photo so much. But she wanted to share her story. So I'm just going to read this, and I believe you will also hear from Nancy, and we have some pre-recorded Tribe Sister interviews that will be airing later this week, and you'll get to hear from her personally too. But she said, my experience of being in Tribe has been incredibly impactful and an integral part of my creative journey and growth since I joined in 2021. It has truly been life-changing for me. Being in Tribe infused a profound sense of joy and completeness, and has replenished a piece of me that had been lacking for far too long. It's my most needed therapeutic outlet, becoming a mainstay in prioritizing self-care and maintaining my overall well-being. Whether you're new to painting, haven't held a paintbrush in years, or you've been at it forever, Tribe offers a supportive community and a safe space to express yourself without ridicule or judgment. I hate reading about myself, so I'm going to skip over the part about me. But just know, like, I'm in there, I'm leading you guys, I'm helping you along your journey. But so is my amazing team. We talked about the support that you're going to have, and it's not just from me, it's from your Tribe Sisters, it's from Megan, it's from Jen and Robin and the Tribe Big Sisters. We're all here to help you with your journey. And I think that's the most important thing for you to remember, is like, you truly are not alone. And even though we're on other sides of the computer from each other, there's something about the connection and the bond that happens inside our tribe, and it can be life-changing. She said, the Tribe Sisters, we're the ensemble cast. We're the real winners, learning and accomplishing our big wins together, always present, sharing our takeaways, being each other's biggest supporters, encouraging, inspiring, motivating, and applauding. Tribe is what community feels like. It's fostering joy and self-care. It's the really good stuff. So I love that, Nancy. Thank you so much for sharing that and allowing me to share that with others as well. I mean, these are the women that they're here in the comments with you right now. These are going to be the women who are cheering you on in the group. This is Miss Pauline, who I mentioned before. She's been with me for a little over 5 years. She said, even when you don't expect it, God has other plans. I joined Tribe to learn acrylics and be a part of a community that was positive, and found a way financially. It was at the beginning of COVID, and I thought it would be a nice hobby. Well, I posted my paintings on a Facebook page and was stunned when she started selling them. So I kind of shared a little bit of that earlier, but she said, lots of unexpected blessings that God led me to, and all that gave me a new purpose in my life for over 5 years ago. And she is currently 81 years young. She said, Tribe is my daily joy. And Pauline does everything she can to be there for all of you, to be your cheerleader. She's come to the live events and will be coming to another one here in September, which, by the way, if you become a member of Tribe, there are still spots for our September meetup here at my studio. That's a picture from Pauline here in my studio at our last summer retreat. And this is Cheryl Carlton over here. She said, I have the confidence to now make my own Christmas cards every year. I love this. She paints one design, prints them on cards at Staples. She writes a message and attaches to the back. I send out about 250 each year, and my friends love getting them. I even get requests to be added to my card list. Many folks save them to use as a shelf sitter for decorations next year. I love that part the most. My art lives on through my friends. I love that. So like whether you're painting for joy, whether you're painting to make money, we just really have no idea how our art can be used to bring joy to others, to spread happiness. And I love hearing how she uses her designs. So the question is, right? How many of you are wondering this right now? Do I have enough time? And really, this comes down to mindset. And I think about this with every decision that we make in life, every choice that we do for ourselves or for our families, it all comes down to a choice, right? It all comes down to a decision. So I want you to like reframe the way you think about this. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. We're all busy. But if we let our life control us instead of us controlling our life, then we're going to end up in a very sad and unhappy place. And I think now in this world more than ever, we all need that space. We all need that safe space, that happy place to be able to go to. So I want you to not think about it like another task on your to-do list. Like, oh, I've got to get that painting done because I joined that tribe. That's not at all how I want you to look at it. It's going to give back to you. You're pouring back into yourself. So decide and make that time for you. Even 1 hour a week is going to be enough to reset your spirit and your mind. And we have to remember that we have to fill ourselves up first, right? I mentioned the Tribe Sister Planner earlier on in this video. In case you missed that, you can go back and watch the replay. But that's why I created it, to help you, to give you something tangible, something that you can really use to start making time for something that you care about. And it's going to help you build consistency, and it's going to help you start carving out time for yourself. And then just remembering, I mentioned it again, I mentioned it earlier, this is not a race. This is not about who can finish the most paintings. This is not about keeping up with each lesson that I do. This is your creative escape. Everything that I'm showing you tonight, I want you to look at that and I want you to see possibilities. Not that you have to do them all, because you won't, but you get to pick and choose what you're excited about. And I threw in Tammy's comment down here at the bottom. She's one of our Tribe sisters, and she said, my biggest takeaway for Tribe is that I'm worth it. I used to justify anything I would have to buy to paint. But you know what? I work too. My husband has things he does and collects and spends money on, so why can't I? I am worth it. Same goes for taking the time to paint. I am worth it. So take the step, take the time. You are worth it. I love that. And thank you for sharing that, Tammy, because I think sometimes we just all need that reminder, right? So let's talk about the cost, right? What does it cost to become a Tribe Sister? We have 2 different ways that you can join the membership. You can do our monthly membership for $47 a month. I'm going to kind of zoom in down here so you can see this. So the monthly membership, again, $47 a month. Payments are automatically deducted each month on the date you sign up. So let's say you sign up today, August 27th. Next month, September 27th, that will automatically deduct from your credit card that you sign up with, okay? And then, of course, you can cancel at any time. You're not committed to any length of time when you join as a monthly member. Of course, we want you to stay with us, and we know how much fun it is, but there is no commitment to that, okay? Your second option, if you are watching this and listening to me and you're like, man, I have to do this. I need this in my life. I'm so excited. you might want to do the annual membership because it will give you a little bit of a savings. So the annual subscription payments automatically deduct each year from the date that you sign up. We send reminders 2 months ahead of time, so you can change your mind if you want. But this is going to give you the biggest savings. It's the equivalent of getting 2 months for free when you sign up for a 1-year contract. But notice it says non-refundable. You cannot sign up for an annual contract and then 3 months in decide to email our customer support team and say, I don't want to do it anymore. That is a 1-year commitment, non-refundable. So you have 2 different options, whether you want to do monthly or yearly. Linda said, can you pause your membership for a month? We don't have any way to pause memberships. So you would just have to cancel and then you would not be able to rejoin until we open doors again. Luna said, where is the comment? I was reading it off of that slide. Allison said, can you switch from monthly to yearly? Yes, that's a great question. And yes, you can. So let's say you sign up monthly, you want to get a feeler out and see how you like it. And you paint with us for like 3 or 4 months and you're like, okay, I love it. Like I might as well save some more money. I want to switch to yearly. All you have to do is email in to Jen or Robin and they'll get you switched over and take care of you. So let's talk about that cost, right? Because same way there is with time. Our next natural objection is, can I afford this? What about the cost? And again, it's kind of reframing the way we think about it. This isn't a splurge, it's self-care. And that overflows into every part of your life. It's an investment in you. It's making you a priority again. And it's you choosing joy and building confidence over maybe another run to Michael's. I put that in there because I'm like, who's guilty? Raise your hand in the comments if, and I'm including myself in this. Raise your hand in the comments if you love art supplies. If you can't help yourself from being like, oh, maybe I'm just going to run to Hobby Lobby. Maybe I'll run to Michael's. Let me grab some of this, some of that, right? It's easy to do. But if we're spending money on that and we're not spending money on learning how to use those art supplies that we're buying, where's the benefit, right? So looking at where can you cut something out? I mean, it's crazy to me how expensive fast food has gotten. One drive-through fast food is $10 to $15 for a meal now. 4 times of eating out fast food a month. If you skipped that and made yourself a sandwich instead, you would have enough to pay for your tribe membership, right? So it's just prioritizing, like looking at your money and figuring out, what do I think is more important to spend the money on, right? So in addition to that, this is creative therapy that lasts. And trust me, it's way cheaper than real therapy, right? And of course, you can make it pay for itself. We talked about this. We've shared lots of stories of the different women who are selling their paintings. They're hosting paint parties. Again, Nancy was saying last night, she makes an average of $700 from each paint party. And with the holidays coming up, it really cranks up. So maybe you're watching this right now and you're like, man, I could use some extra Christmas money, right? I got gifts to buy. What if you start doing paint parties and you start making that extra income every month to alleviate some of that stress? You pay for your membership and then you're going to have all that additional money from your sales as well. Krista said, I never painted before joining Tribe. I had no idea I could. 7 months later, I got requests to sell my art and I just started teaching paint parties. My life has been forever changed because of this amazing group. Lisa, she said, if you're on the fence, trust me and just do it. As an empty nester, I needed something and Christy popped up on my Facebook feed one day. Thankfully, I decided to click the button and truly the rest is history. God knew exactly what he was doing when I encountered this tribe of magnificent ladies. This is way more than painting. It's the friends you made and they're amazing. So you have choices. You have ways you can think about it. And we have a big early bird bonus going on right now. So if you make the decision to join us before this Friday at midnight, you will get immediate access to all of these early bird bonuses. That does not mean doors to Tribe are closing on Friday, but our early bird bonus is going away Friday at midnight. So if you're looking at this and you're looking at some of the different paintings on here and you're like, oh man, I want that. This is your chance to get access to these. So some of these are even full-on workshops. It's not just a step-by-step lesson. So this is a double-sided porch leaner Christmas workshop that I taught last year. Another Christmas workshop with 4 different projects in it. We have our rustic Santa, our fall chapel, Among the Wildflowers. This is a really in-depth workshop where I really go deep with you on color mixing and values and adding depth and texture to your painting. You're going to learn a lot in that one. And then some of our other fall favorites. And then in addition to that, I wanted to give you some extra resources to start your Tribe journey. One of the biggest questions that we have is how to get good photographs of your artwork and how to edit it. So I included a lesson in that, how to price your artwork if you do decide to sell it. And then I kind of go behind the scenes with you of like my mock setup for how I do paint parties. So that is just going to give you some of those different options and some things that I thought would be helpful for your journey. So I just want to leave you with this as far as like talking about Tribe, and then we're going to open it up to some live Q&A questions that Megan has been keeping for me. And then I am going to just kind of paint along. And I have a list of all the Tribe sisters who have joined us that I'm going to be adding their names to some fun flowers in this painting that I'm going to create. And we're going to keep adding your names to it. So, oops. What did I do? We're going to keep adding names to it the whole time that we have open cart. So if you join anytime during this workshop, I'll be adding more flowers to the painting, adding more names to the painting, and it's going to be a fun in-progress thing that we work on. So just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to dream of the possibilities. Remember that fear is a liar, right? Fear wants to hold us back. But if we choose to step out in faith and we choose to step out in trust instead, we have no idea what's possible, what's right around the corner for us. So I want you to stop and I want you to think about where you are right now. Think about where you are right now in your creative journey. And think about where you hope to be. Maybe you've heard some of these stories tonight of some of these other ladies, and you're like, man, I would love that. I would love for that to be a part of my life. I want you to start thinking about the possibilities. Imagine your future self. Right now, you might be saving things on Pinterest. You might be following free lessons. You might be watching YouTube, but you're not making any real progress. You're not seeing any growth in your artistic journey, right? So what's the problem? The problem is that you don't have a plan. The problem is that you don't have feedback and you don't have that encouragement to keep you going. And those are things that you're going to get inside of Tribe. Inside the Tribe, you're going to get a guided path. You're going to get accountability, encouragement, and you're going to have consistency. And that is where the growth is going to happen. Okay, so let's jump in to questions. Bonnie said, how many Tribe members are there right now? We have about 1,200 Tribe sisters in our group. So it is an amazing community of women. Let's see. Paula said, how often do Tribe sisters meet? Do you mean in person, Paula? I do a couple retreats. I've done 3 this year in studio. I don't have any planned as of right now for 2026. So that'll be open. But we also have Tribe sisters who meet each other. You can find out where each other live. And we have some that we've even had some run into each other while they're in Hobby Lobby, picking out their paint colors for a project. So you never know where you're going to meet your Tribe sisters. But we also do an online Zoom paint party every single month where you'll get a chance to meet them virtually. Mary said, do we get instructions on how to set up parties? So that's what that's part of that big bonus package. I kind of walk through with you like my mock setup, and I give you my tips and tricks on how to do that. I don't go into any of the like deep business details, like getting a business license and all that. I'm not going to go into any of the depth of that. That's something Google can help you with. But you do have permission to use my designs, like everything you see behind you on the wall. You can teach these at your paint parties. Okay. Megan, I am going to pop over, hopefully, to this document. Okay, so Megan's getting some of those questions together for me. While she's doing that, I think what I'm going to do is scoot you guys back while I answer these questions and kind of do an overhead of this very quick, fun, and whimsical painting that I'm going to be adding all the new Tribe Sister names to. So you get to create with me. This right now is only in my head. If I can get my light stand to work for me. Michelle said, if we join monthly and decide to do Tribe, will it be the same cost? So this is Tribe. Michelle, I'm not quite sure what your question is. You can join Tribe monthly. There's a monthly option and there's an annual option. Another Michelle said, how do we sign up for the one you were talking about as a Tribe Sister? So are you talking about the in-person retreat? The link for that is in our Tribe Sister Facebook group. I believe we have 6 spots left for that one. And in addition to me teaching you at that live event here at the studio, you will obviously get to learn projects with me, but my friend Cindy Manley, who owns Art Shattered, is going to be also coming to that fall event, and she is going to be doing art glass and resin with us as well. So you get 2 art teachers for the price of 1. All right, I'm going to pull you up here really quick, hopefully. There may be a little echo briefly as I try to get this pulled up. I hope it doesn't do that, but we'll see. Oh, how fun. Brenda said, we're talking about meeting your Tribe Sister. She said, I met one at my church at a paint party who was visiting from another state. Nancy said, did you paint your earrings? No, I got these off Amazon. I was looking for some cheap earrings the other day, and I like all the fun colors. They were like super cheap. Sherry, just talking about the paint parties. Yeah, the paint parties cannot be taught online is what Sherry's saying. They can only be taught at in-person classes. Alicia said, am I only adding new names? Yes, I'm not writing out 1,200 plus names on this painting. This is just something fun we're doing for everyone that is joining this week. Okay, is there an echo? Mm-hmm. Give me a second here to get this positioned the right way. There it is. I'm going to mute this. That should fix it. Okay. Oh, we're going to switch. All right. Now we're good. So what happens is your phone will not let you totally mute all the way, which is super annoying, and that's why you get that echo. Mary said, when does the fall special end? The one that I just mentioned ends Friday at midnight, and you get porch leaners. You could get that wood at like Lowe's or Home Depot. All that information is on your supply list as well. Okay, so Michelle, your question is about your payment options. So she said, I guess if we do monthly and decide to do annual, the cost will change. So it doesn't take away from your monthly. You're just committing to a year after that. So if you sign up and let's say you join today and then October, you're like, okay, I want to switch over to annual, your year starts from that October. It doesn't go backwards on your payments. Luna said, can I use gouache instead of acrylic? You can. Not all paintings are going to turn out the same because gouache is just a completely different kind of medium. So there's going to be things that I teach that would not apply to, that you wouldn't be able to. Alicia said, are people going to the in-person event from out of state sharing rides, Ubers? Most of the people are from out of state that come to the Tribe Sister events. And depending on, their arrival time and stuff, that's something that you figure out amongst each other. That's nothing that we as a group plan for you. So that's just an individual basis type thing. Turn this light on. Hey, Margaret from Ireland, welcome. Michelle said, I can't find the Facebook group. I'm a Tribe member. Are you getting your emails, Michelle? All of your emails from Tribe. Megan sends out a Tribe Sister email every single week. It always has the link to our Facebook group in there. And it's also linked inside the vault. All that stuff is at the top. All right, I'm gonna take this off because it's just a light halo over my head. Making sure you guys can still hear me, right? My audio's on. Okay. All right, are we good? I should definitely move my glass of wine out of the way so I do not dip my brush in it. So I am just painting. I just came up with this idea today and I'm just doing it with you guys live just for fun. We are going to do, like I said, a quick and fast painting of some flowers. And I'm going to start adding in names of our new Tribe Sisters. And we're going to keep building this as the workshop goes on. So each day I will print off my list of new members and I'll be adding you guys to this very special painting that's going to hang in my studio. So I thought it would be fun to do this in like my brand colors, right? Like I have certain colors that I tend to go with. So that's how we're going to start this. The first thing I'm going to do is, this is just a white canvas. It's already gessoed. I buy them pre-gessoed so you don't have to do anything to them. But I'm just going to put a quick coat of white paint on here. And I'm just going to slide this over really quick so I can pull up your questions. Okay, so I'm going back to questions that Megan was collecting as I was kind of going over things. So this is not going to be, by the way, I'm not like teaching a tutorial right now. You guys are just going to watch and hang out with me and see what I come up with while we're chatting and talking tonight, okay? But right now I am just spreading white paint all over my canvas right now. We may add some other colors into our background later, but for right now, I just want to get some white on here. So my first question that I see was from Cindy earlier. She said, my question for tonight is, why are the deco art paint's more watery than tube paint. So the Deco Art is what is considered craft acrylics. These are like crafters paint. And so their nature is to be thin. They're not watery because that would mean they weren't like solid, right? It just means they're a thinner viscosity than heavy bodied acrylic. I teach with both kinds and I choose what paint I'm going to use depending on the project that I'm doing. I don't always stick with one. Sometimes I use Deco Art and craft acrylic. Sometimes I use Liquitex thick bodied acrylic. It kind of depends on my mood. It depends on the style of the painting that I'm working on. Janice said, I have trouble mixing colors. I get a big blob that isn't really mixed, and then my paint ends up on the metal part of the brush. So how to pick up and mix colors. So it sounds like you're like maybe having way too much paint, because like you can look at my brush, like no paint is anywhere near my handle right here. So you don't need to like have a ton on there to mix your colors. This is my palette left over from last night, but even as you're watching me color mix, and again, if you join Tribe, you're going to have more of these lessons inside of there where I go into depth on color mixing, but I'm not mixing a ton. So you're just using your bristles. You don't need to be like pushing down and like gathering all that paint up close to where the handle of your paintbrush is. Can anyone guess what color I'm going to make the vase for this painting? This is more of just a funny haha for those people who've been with me for a while, because I have a favorite color. It's in most of my paintings. I'm going to try to pull this over so I can see comments and questions at the same time. Okay. Winner, winner, chicken dinner to everyone in the comments. So yeah, I'm going to paint it teal. I know it's shocking. So I am just going to keep using, I'm going to tear off this so I don't get any dried little chunks of paint in my new paint tonight. We are going to use Bahama Blue, which is one of my favorite teals, but another one that is out of my set that we didn't use last night is Bluegrass Green. So I like to use both of these together. Alicia, that was another good guess. She said black and white, because I really love black and white vases too, but I thought tonight I would do teal. I got to shake this paint up. Okay. Okay, questions. I'm going back to my question list here. Kath asked earlier, what time did the lives start in Tribe? So I do not have a set time or a set day of the week that I teach live. Okay, so it really, I travel a lot. Like I said, I have 3 girls. It depends on their schedule, what's going on in our lives. So every month is different, but we give you that full calendar at the beginning of each month, and then you can plan accordingly. And again, you don't have to join live. You can watch the replays as well. Tracy said, how do you keep from over blending? Last night's painting is almost blended and I lifted up my brush a lot. So it's really a learning curve, Tracy. I would keep practicing in your mixed media pad, but it's learning to obviously pick up, but you're blending, you must still be connecting quite a bit, because that only happens if you're dragging the bristles through that wet paint, right? So if I came in here, I'm just gonna like slap my vase down, right? I'm blending these colors together. Even if I pick up and put down, they're still blending, right? You have to learn to just do these quick pulls of color and then just let them be. Like that's not going to blend unless I keep going back over that and blending it in. So again, the more you practice, the better you will get at that. It's just a learning curve. I'm going to see if I can raise this up just a little bit more. Cindy, I just answered your question about DecoArt. I'm not sure if you popped off for a bit, but DecoArt is considered craft acrylic. So it's not more watery necessarily. It's just more fluid. It's a different viscosity. Craft acrylic is different than heavy bodied acrylic, which comes in the tubes. Okay, so that's just going to be a quick base coat. Again, I'm not worried about trying to make like a complete full painting tonight, but we are going to put some filler in here, add some greenery, and then I'm going to just start making some fun little quick flowers that I can then let dry. And I have this really fun gold paint pen. I'm going to start writing in the names of our new tribe sisters as I'm going along. And it will eventually become a finished painting over the next 10 days together. Lisa said, how do you recommend left-handed people change the brush strokes? I mean, I'm not left-handed, so I really don't know how specifically to tell you that. The brush strokes are still the same whether you're left-handed or right-handed. So it's still the same techniques, regardless of which hand is more dominant. You may change the direction of like that you're doing them, but the actual technique of that is going to be the same. Okay, so I'm just going to grab around here and some of like my lime green. This is just going to be a fun, whimsical, loose painting here. I have no real preconceived ideas exactly how this is going to turn out. We are just going to kind of play with it and build it over these next several days together. But I kind of love having that white down, so the white is still wet and it's kind of blending with my leaves as I'm going. And then I'm going to pull some up here. Let's maybe have come out. And who knows, these may all be covered with flowers eventually, but we're going to put some background greenery in here. Okay, so next question. Okay, yeah, I think I answered that. Judy asked, do I offer how to run paint parties, how to set up a business, etc. I don't go into any of the technical like business part of anything. That's not my jam. I have no desire to teach business at all. I like to teach painting. I get, again, I tell you guys like my tips and tricks of like how I did paint parties. I can give you like marketing advice on like ways you can fill your paint parties and, you know, get people in your seats. But any of the business type stuff, honestly, I would just say, just Google that and you'll find what you need. Allison said, do the critiques have to be on a painting lesson from you, or can it be our own creation? It would be a painting lesson from Tribe. Now, if you were to join me, I won't be doing a live version of this in 2026, but I offered another course this year that's called my master class, where I teach women how to create their own originals. Inside that, I offered critiques on original art, but that's not something that I do inside of Tribe. All right, I'm just going to kind of leave this for now, throw in some random green in here. I already like the way it looks. Judy said, are the painting of the month included in Tribe? So yes, painting of the month club is all inclusive within Tribe. Pretty much all of the painting of the month club lessons that we currently have on the upcoming calendar are all originally from Tribe. However, so they're already in your vault. You also get them added into your library in a separate area. And you would keep access to those even after leaving. You would keep access to the painting of the month ones while you were a member, but you have access to all that. So you don't join both memberships. It's kind of like a one or other situation. Was that all our questions, Megan? Oh, you're adding some. Okay. I'm like, did I already get through them all? Marilyn said, why is the dried paint look dull on the painting from last night? So craft acrylics, depending on the paint that you buy, it dries in a different finish. So if you're looking at my original, it dries matte. So it's not going to have, there's no shine to that, right? There's no gloss, there's no shine to it whatsoever. In comparison to, let's say this is an abstract landscape that I taught. This has shine and gloss to it, right? So this is a combination of like thick bodied acrylic and some mediums that give it that glossy look and that shine. If you want your colors to be more vibrant on the painting that we're doing this week, you can also buy a gloss varnish. And you can visit my blog. I have a blog on this that talks about different finishes and sealers for your paintings. It's just thesocialeasel.com and then go to blog. But if you don't like the dull look or the matte look, then you can finish it with a gloss varnish, semi-gloss, satin. There's all kinds of different finishes. You can add those to your paintings so that they have that different look to them, and it does help your colors become more vibrant. I don't always put sealers on my artwork. I do sometimes, but it's not something I do with every single painting. Awesome. Sherry said, I'm joining. I've been cleaning stencils since you started. I'd rather be cleaning a brush. Okay, Sherry, tell me what you do. What kind of stencils are you cleaning? But we're so happy you're joining, and you're going to have so much fun cleaning your paintbrushes instead. All right, so I'm just going to grab one of my filbert brushes. This kind of has like a round edge. I like to use these to make flowers. So I'm going to pull this over here. Apologize for the noise momentarily. I'm going to do a quick blow dry on this so I can add my flowers on. And I want that to be a little bit drier first. One of the things I do love about craft acrylics, though, is that they do dry fast. Sometimes it's nice to have like a blow dryer or a heat gun at your station just to kind of speed the process up a little bit. I'm missing my paint colors. Don't know where I set my box. So I'm just going to grab a couple different color combinations here. And we're going to add on some quick and easy flowers. Michelle said, how do you know when to stop adding to a background? So it really depends on the painting. When you're painting step by step with me, I'll discuss that with the particular painting that you're working on. It's different for every single one. It depends on really like what you want out of that background. One of the things you have to pay attention to is not adding too much to it. You don't want your background. That should be like your negative space. Your positive space is your subject matter in there. So you don't want to add too much to your background that it's distracting with what your focal point is in the front. Cindy said, so if we continue to paint, should we move away from deco art paints or craft paints to more medium bodied paints? I'd like to invest in good paints. I mean, that's really a personal preference. I mean, I make all kinds of beautiful art, and you wouldn't be able to tell from what's hanging on my wall whether I used craft paint or whether I used heavy bodied acrylic as far as like the quality of the painting. You can also add mediums to craft paint. If you want them to be thicker or have more viscosity, you can add gel medium to them to make them thicker. So I incorporate both into my artwork. Like I said, I don't just stick with one. You can make real art with craft paint. It doesn't have to be expensive paint. Where is my other pink that I want? I'm missing my joyful pink. Okay, so I'm also going to grab a little bit of white while I do these because I like to get a mixture of white with my other colors to make these flowers. I was going to try to find a quick example for you guys, but we'll just go for it. So again, I'm using my filbert. I'm going to pick up some pink and white, and I'm just going to start doing these quick little circles. Shapes on here are going to be our flowers. And then my idea is to come in between some of these like petal like brush strokes that I'm putting on here, and we're going to start adding names into these. So it's not going to be one flower for every name. We'll use the different shapes inside of our flower to add some names too. And sometimes painting in this style is really fun, really relaxing, kind of forces you to not focus on detail too much. More about the idea of laying these flowers down. Alicia said, how long do deco art paints stay good that haven't been opened? I mean, I've had some for years. They naturally separate over time. So you'll get like, I don't know if you saw this on my palette, but one of them I needed to shake up. It kind of separate. It looks like an oil. They're not oil based, but it separates like that. So you just want to shake them up. Unless they're just like completely dried up on the inside, they should last you for quite a while. Oh, got you. Michelle said she uses a lot of stencils in mixed media. I do love stencils in my mixed media too. All right, what other questions you guys got for me? I'm gonna rinse that a little bit. I think I want to add a little purple periwinkle type of color in here. There may be a glitch on Facebook. It's telling me again. I don't know why it keeps wanting to do that. Just add in some little purple blooms here and there too. All right, going back to my filbert. Let's get some pink and white, maybe a little bit of red down here. Oh yeah, that one's pretty. A little more vibrant. Took some of my joyful pink, which is like a hot pink, a little bit of red. Let's do little squigglies around here. Tracy said, I dabble in so many things, watercolor, acrylic, diamond art. Do I need to choose one? I don't believe so. I dabble in all kinds of things. I have painted with gouache, watercolor. I do mixed media. I do heavy bodied impasto style painting. I mean, anything creative, anything artsy, I'm going to play and experiment with it some. So, I mean, it's up to you. If you're trying to create like a signature look, and you're like building an art brand, like a name as an artist, you might want to stick with something a little bit more. But I think it's important for us to just always continue to grow and learn and try new things. I'm not trying to fit in anybody else's box. You do you. If it makes you happy, then you keep doing it. Allison said, have you ever stretched your own canvas? Do you teach that? I have not, and I don't. I just buy my canvases. I ain't got time for stretching canvases. If I'm quiet, it's just because I'm looking at my colors and making choices in my head. You always know when I'm thinking. I get quiet. Let's jump back to our purple again. I like that a little bit more vibrant purple over here. So I'm kind of just mixing my reds, and I had some like yellow and orange in there. Get a different color here. I like that. That's pretty. Mickey said, do you wipe your brush on the paper towel after cleaning off the color? Yeah, like I'm not super rinsing mine because I'm using similar colors, but if I'm going from one drastic color to the other, I will rinse it really, really well and then wipe it off on my paper towel. It's the way I showed you in last night's lesson. If you were with us last night, I actually showed you how I rinse my brushes and wipe them off so that there's no color left over from your previous color. Janice said, are there design principles that you stick to, for example, groups of 3? Yeah, I mean, so like I said, I mean, I have been an artist for forever. So a lot of those are just innate to me. It's always something I'm thinking about composition wise, paying attention to odd numbers, overlap, depth. There's all those art elements. I'm paying attention to all of them whenever I'm creating an original. Okay, I think I'm about done just kind of getting my base color of flowers on here. I'm going to come in and do some centers, and then I'm going to start blow drying and adding in some names. Let me just do some fun little greenery in here. And as we go on this week, we may come in, add more leaves, add more flowers. We'll just have to see how this turns out. Yeah, if you guys are wanting to paint this, you can come back and watch this replay and practice doing a fast and fun painting. Sometimes I incorporate scribbling into my artwork. Sometimes I incorporate finger painting into my artwork. So you just really never know what you're gonna get. Always learning something new. Always trying to show you guys a different way things can be. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can mute this, and then I'm gonna blow dry this really quick so it's not blowing in your ears. So if you guys, while I'm blow drying, if you guys have any more questions, pop them in the comment. Awesome. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but Alika or Elika, we look forward to having you. You're going to be joining this Friday. Pauline, I'll have to check the size of the canvas. I don't remember. It's probably a 20 by 20, 18 by 18. Yep, 18 by 18. Pretty fun for throwing it together pretty fast, huh? Ooh, I love this, Allison. This is this is the kind of stuff that we used to do in art school. She said I did a challenge once where I had to paint a 30-second painting, then the same thing in 30 minutes, then in 3 hours. Very cool. Awesome. Welcome, Penny. Yeah, drop in the comments if you joined us. Maybe you joined while we were live today. Let us know so we can welcome you. Michelle said, do you pick up your brushes like last night when you're painting the flowers? It's different. I mean, I am picking up and putting down. Sometimes I'll pull the colors together a little bit. All right, so let me start with my list here. I think we have about 75 names to add. Of course, this is like before those of you who joined tonight. So this will not be a complete list. We'll be adding to this, like I said, for the rest of the week. Give me just a second. So my idea for doing the names, and obviously I'm not going to write first and last name. We're just going to write first names in here. And I'm just going to start adding them in to the different petals. But I'm having to pay attention to where they are dry. We'll see how many we can get through tonight. Gonna make sure my pen is primed. I don't think this one is. Michelle said, how do you pick what colors to use? Are you talking about for tonight or just every single time I paint? A lot of that is just understanding the color wheel and color theory and what colors look good together, what colors don't. Well, you guys, my plan may not work if this pen is not going to cooperate with me. I need my other one. Let me see if this one's going to work better. Yeah, when you're, Michelle, if you're talking about just any time, the more you understand color theory, the better and easier it's going to be for you to pick what colors work together. You can also look at color palettes. That's something that you can look at like on Pinterest. This isn't quite turning out the way that I want it to. This pen is not. Frustration. Let me see what else I have. If I can't find one that's going to work for me tonight, then I may have to finish this up tomorrow and show you guys. I thought this first one that I started with was my newest gold pen, but it's not cooperating with me. Okay. I think this Posca pen might work. That's really, really wet. Michelle, if you are using paint pens in your artwork and then you want to put a varnish on top, I recommend a spray varnish instead of a brush on so it doesn't take the chance of smearing your paint pen work. Tracy said, what size are most of my paintings? I don't have a certain size. I paint in all different sizes, 16 by 20, 11 by 14, squares of all sizes. I do tiny ones, like 8 by 8, all the way up to like a 40 by 40. So there's lots of options. And whatever size I do doesn't mean you have to do it either. So a square is a square. Whether you paint an 8-inch square or an 18-inch square, the composition will stay the same on it. So as far as recommendation of like stocking up, I wouldn't go crazy. I would get like a couple value. I get most of mine from like Michael's. I get a couple value packs. I don't like this at all. And here's your lesson that you're going to learn is sometimes things don't work out and you change your mind and you just kind of, you know, go with the flow, just like what we've been talking about. None of these paint pens are doing what I want them to do. So we're aborting mission right now. I'm painting over. But here's what you need to realize is it's not a big deal. We're working with acrylic paint, so I can just paint right over top of it. It may take a couple layers, and then we can come back to it once it's dry. I guess I'm gonna have to, no, you know what? I had the perfect new paint pen. I know where it is. It's in my bag that I just got back from Florida and it's sitting at home. It's a brand new one and I was letting Heidi use it when we were painting at the beach house together and she fell in love with it. So I know that's where my newest one is that works really good. I'm gonna have to toss these old ones in the studio. Yeah, let me see if I find a white one I like better. Lisa said, what's the subject matter of your most favorite painting you've ever done? I love flowers. I could paint flowers every single day of my life. So I don't have a specific flower, all flowers. All right, let me see this work. All right, bear with me for just un momento while I prime some of these and see if I can get them to cooperate with me. All right, let's start. Yeah, I think we'll start using white. So we've got Tiffany who joined us. Holler at me if you're on here. While I'm writing your name, we have Trudy. We have a Barbara. I know there may be duplicates of these names because I'm not saying last names, but I'm kind of going in like a circular like motion, adding these in. Natalie, Christy, without the E. So I'm just going to start kind of going around. And at the end of the week, I may come around and with all these different names, kind of add some line elements to them to let the petals kind of separate and stand out a little bit more too. Are you guys having video issues? Mine is looking fine from here. Okay, Gloria. Another Barbara. We got a couple new Barbaras joining us. Cyan. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Dina. Jamie. Christina. Let's see. I need a larger petal to write Christina's name on here. Wendy and Lena. Let's do Wendy here. We've got a Lulu joining us. but I thought this would be fun to do a big bouquet of flowers. We're all going to bloom together. We have Debbie and Linda. Caroline and Lorraine. Michelle and Rebecca. This is a super skinny Posca pen that I'm using. Lori Ann and Holly. Stephanie and Lorinda. Let's go this way. Is this wet? No, that's dry. Okay, what did I say? Stephanie, Lorinda. This will be so cute at the end. Okay, Roxy and Lena. Such fun names on here too. Heather and Robin. Deborah and Teresa. Erica and Sylvia. Laura and Kathy. Deanna and Joanne. Yes, this would be super cute to do for family. Yeah. Okay, I lost my space or my place in here. Joanna, yep. Debbie and Kelly. I'm looking forward to seeing how many more flowers I'm going to have to add on here. We have Yvonne and Nikki. Jean and Catherine. I think I may come back on some of these and do the darker colors now that we're doing a white paint pen. We got through one page. Miss Wanda said, "Don't forget me. I just signed up." All right, Wanda, I'm gonna add you in right now. Let's add Wanda up here. Wanda, you got a purple flower. I hope you like purple. Patty. Michelle and Anne. Let's see. And we've got a short little name. I can fit you over here. Koa just signed up. Let me throw your name in here. Let's see. Fit you right over here. Yay, Wanda said, I love purple. It's my grandson's favorite color. Awesome. Yeah, I won't get everyone. I'm just grabbing. If you commented, I'm going to throw you in there. And Deb, Linda. Deb and Linda, Maria and Suzanne. Jody and Karen. All right, another Wendy and Deborah. It's not dark enough. Let me go over here. Oop, that was a little wet. Okay. Did I just do Deborah? Yeah, just did Deborah. All right, Leslie and Kira. We may be adding some into our greenery too. We have Beverly and Amanda. I'm loving all these different names. Tammy and Karen. Miki and another Karen. We're going to have a lot of Karens in this group. All right. We have about 10 or 12 more. Rebecca. Well, thanks for hanging out with me, guys, tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked getting to see the behind the scenes of Tribe. Hope you liked hearing the stories from some of our Tribe sisters. It's always so inspiring to me, and there's always new stories to share. We've got Molly, Renee, that's my middle name. Deirdre, that's still a little, I think I can write there. Peggy. Brenda and Diane. Susie and Allison, you are my last two tonight. You guys, this was so fun. Thanks for the idea of doing white instead of gold. I had my heart set on gold, but I actually think this might be better. From far away, You can't even tell there's names in here. But then this is going to be so cool, right? Because when you see this hanging in my studio, you're going to walk up to it and be like, oh, what are all those names on there? And we're going to add a little bit more detail to it. So hopefully if you joined us, you see your name on there. If you joined tonight and I didn't get you on, we are going to continue adding names to our florals, to our leaves. I may be adding more flowers on here. So this is going to be so much fun. And yeah, I hope you guys had fun watching me do a super impromptu vase of flowers too. It's just the beginning. We're going to keep building on it over the next 10 days together, or I guess 8 days now. All right, you guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Everyone have a great night and join me back tomorrow. So tomorrow's a big deal. If you're still on here and you haven't jumped off yet, I know this was a long live tonight. Tomorrow we're doing a giveaway. So you definitely want to be live tomorrow night. We are going to do a giveaway after the paint session. So you've got to be live to win. We are going to do, I think there's a new thing I haven't tried here using StreamYard where it will pick a random winner for us. So we'll either do that or come up with something that we've done before. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a giveaway tomorrow. So make sure you join us live. We're going to finish up our walk through the fall and finish all those last minute touches that bring a painting together. All right, I will talk to you then. Bye.